I would like to echo Philip's comments. Every year, I've been involved in AONBs for many years now, and every year the showcase that I see gets better and better. You all care for some very, very special places, and caring for special places isn't just a career or an interesting pastime. It's a cause. It's a cause because it's absolutely necessary. It requires focus, it requires dedication, and it's a challenge that I think we all believe is worth fighting for. You only need to look at those slides, but if we lose what makes these places special, their woodlands, their moorlands, their streams, the rivers, the walls, the hedges, the fields, the meadows, the villages, the buildings, the wildlife, the people, and the culture and the history and the stories that tie all these things together, then we run the risk of losing part of our identity, and in the long run, the foundations upon which I think we all depend to survive, the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, and importantly, the places that inspire us and nourish us emotionally. People are passionate about areas of outstanding natural beauty and care deeply about their future with very, very good reason. But this isn't just about the people that live and work in AONBs. We're very lucky. It's also about those that visit. AONBs attracted 154 million visits last year, many of which were repeat visits from towns and cities by definition. Many people value what these special places have to offer, the special places that you help to look after. You're trusted locally, you make things happen, you get people to work together, and in working together you end up with better decisions made. Decisions that improve people's quality of life, save money, provide employment, generate income, and protect the environment. So there's a bit of a puzzle there. Why, if you do all these good things, is it such a challenge? Why is looking after an AONB or any protected landscape such a challenge? And I think we all know the public purse is shrinking and we're all having to adapt, so funding streams are changing. That makes it a challenge. There are more and more people and organisations with an interest in these special places, meaning partnerships are more complex and interests are more diverse. With greater competition for fewer resources, we're having to perform consistently and to an extremely high standard, a high standard that seems to be growing every year. With others making significant decisions about that affect these special places, we have to inform discussions intelligently, with conviction, at the right level, with evidence and with legitimacy. And keeping that package going is quite a challenge. And I think finally we have to win hearts and minds. We require advocates across the board, at the local level, at the national level, within niche interest groups and within other mainstream causes. And we need to make this combined advocacy as effective as possible. More than ever before, we need others to speak out on our behalf. We're expected to speak out on our behalf. What we need is others to speak out on our behalf. So rising to this particular challenge requires dedication, focus, and a lot of energy. So what I'm going to do now, really briefly, is to look at what the National Association has been doing over the last year to help us all rise to that challenge. And I think it's a lot harder now defining that line between what we're doing as a National Association and what we're doing as an AONB family. And I think that's really good. The National Association, as Philip said, this is your conference, it is your National Association. We are only as good as our collective endeavours. If I can take that. Thank you. Okay, so we're thinking. We're horizon scanning, we're working with others, we're working with DEFRA, closely with DEFRA, we're working with Natural Resources Wales, we're working with Natural England, we're working with you, we're working with other NGOs, private sector partners, to do our best to stay ahead of the game. We're pooling intellect. Collectively, we're using Basecamp like we've never used it before to collaborate, to discuss ideas and to share solutions to some of the problems that you have. We will soon be launching an online knowledge platform which will showcase some of the best work that AONBs have to offer. Not just keeping it within the family, it will be open to the public. People can log on and see what we're doing. We're supporting action learning sets. Some of you would have been involved in this, but people getting together to work to move forward areas of common interest. We're focusing, we're reviewing our business plan. We're coming to the end of a business plan now. We will soon be going out to consultation. But we're focusing. We've got 3 very clear goals that we're going to come out to consultation on. 1, that we have healthy and resilient AONB landscapes. 2, that the AONB family comprises viable staffing units producing statutory management plans and driving project delivery. And 3, that the National Association is a respected and influential organisation representing the interests of AONB designated landscapes. There are 3 goals. We will have to populate that with activity, but that's where we're focusing. We're transforming. As you know, we're pursuing charitable status, and that will be the subject of the EGM. We're changing the way we work. We have board members that are driving forward their portfolios with passion and energy that we've never seen before, to be honest. As staff, it's quite hard work keeping up with all these board members, driving forward these areas of interest. But that's exactly what we should be doing. It's absolutely brilliant. We're looking to more fully reflect enhanced devolution in our next plan. Whether you like it or not, what goes on in Scotland in September will have an impact on us as a national organisation. So we need to more fully reflect what's going on in the 3 countries that we cover, England, Wales and Northern Ireland. There are 3 countries, 3 different governments, 3 populations and 3 sets of challenges. We're trying new approaches. We're developing a national peer-to-peer approach to corporate partnerships that you're probably aware of. We're initiating direct conversation with corporate partners, and this is a big part of our work going forwards. We're working to channel money through the National Association from various external partners to AONBs on the ground, as we're doing the Cabinet Office funding for the social forestry work that's going on. And we're looking into opportunities around EU grants. So they're the normal big lottery, Life Plus, Erasmus and Interreg. And I dare say there are people in this room that we can work with and partner with to do that. We're giving a very, very clear message around full cost recovery. And I would say it is absolutely essential that we go ahead knowing, and doesn't just relate to us as a national association, but it also relates to you, going forward knowing exactly what we're costing. So when we enter into agreements with funding partners, we're actually covering those costs properly. So we're working out new contractual relationships with funders. But we're also open to suggestions of novel ways of delivering the AONB purpose. We have to be, and we need to take that idea forwards. Importantly, we're looking to factor in the social value of the work that you do, but in order to do that, we've got to measure that in an effective way, and that's something we need to take forward. We're growing, not as a national association, but as an AONB family. We're working better together, as I said earlier. We're re-establishing traditional partnerships, as we will be doing today with English Heritage, but we're also working up new partners, some of which are in the private sector. We're building on past work, some of the past work that we did, and making them central to our going forward. One of the clear examples is our work around sustainable tourism, and that will be a subject of a briefing later on. We're working hard to improve and increase the value of the Landscapes for Life brand, the national brand, and this is being recognised externally. And we're taking that branding forward into new relationships. And obviously we're working with the national parks. We work with the national parks at the local level, I know you do, but at the national level on areas of joint interest. So where we can get together to talk to DEFRA with a single voice, then we will. Where we can push for legislative change, we will, as we did with the Growth and Infrastructure Bill. We're performing better as a collective than we ever have done before, because we're now reaching staff that are working within AONBs, the specialists that are working on the ground. We're actually getting the best person on the job more often than we have done in the past. That results in better decision making, and it seems to be working, it seems to be moving things forward. We're doing some of the old things, and we're dropping some of the old things, and we're doing some of those old things that we felt we did quite well, conference being one of them. So I'm pleased that you've given us your backing to do what we're doing now. And we're also continue to run a training programme. We're informing, and we're being informed, and this goes as much it stands as much for the AONB family as it does for the National Association. We are speaking more strongly with one voice, with clear, consistent messages. We have a national communication strategy produced by the AONB family, for the AONB family, that distills the messages that we need to get out. And the more we use that, the more effective we will be at getting our message out. And we are finding, as a national association, as many platforms to get those messages delivered as we possibly can. We've responded to 22 consultation responses, national consultation responses so far this year. We will continue to do that on your behalf. We input to planning matters, either through a planning subgroup, predominantly in the south of England, or through a national type response. We plug into Biodiversity 2020, so we're still pushing the biodiversity agenda on your behalf. We're working with the agri-environment stakeholder group around the new environmental land management scheme. We're pushing for the role of AONBs in Wales in the discussions around public service delivery. We're working with the LEP roundtable. There's a lot of examples of what we're doing at a national level to secure a place for AONB partnerships. But as I said at the beginning of the intro, really, we're doing our best to create powerful advocates. We have many discussions with politicians in Parliament and the Senedd in Cardiff, across all parties, highlighting the value of AONB partnerships. We've taken Lord de Morley out to visit AONBs on a number of occasions, and we show him really what you do best. We speak with passion around funding cuts at a national level. DEFRA will know this, and we're out to defend you as best we possibly can. And we gain support and commitment wherever we can and wherever we go. But this is always going to be a challenge. This winning hearts and minds is always going to be a challenge. We're very, very good at telling people what we do, and there are lists of the great work that we do. We're very, very good at telling people how we do it, so we could talk at length about this. But where we struggle is we sometimes fail to be able to articulate why we do it. We know why we do it, but we need to be able to tell others why we do it. In the same way, when we're making asks of others, they need to know what to do, and they need to know how to do it. But most importantly, they need to know why they do it. It's the what and the how that engage people's minds. It makes them think, it stimulates their intellect. But it's actually the why that captures their heart and forces decision making. So I think we need to share what we do, which we do very well. We need to learn how to do it better and inspire people. But most importantly, we need to tell people and articulate what it is that why it is that we do what we do, because that's really how we're going to change hearts and minds, and that's something we're doing. We're working hard on doing all the time. As you know, AONBs are areas of outstanding natural beauty, are some of our most beautiful and cherished landscapes in Britain. I think it's fair to say that collectively you do an absolutely incredible job. It is a real privilege to work for a national association on your behalf. And on that note, I'll stop there and hope you enjoy the conference. So thank you very much.